So in this session we are going to discuss about deep sea physiology. Okay, at the sea level the pressure is 760 millimeters of mercury, but when we go to higher altitude the pressure decreases, but the percentage of oxygen that is at the sea level and at the high altitude are same. But considering the partial pressure of oxygen, which is the 21 percentage of the corresponding pressure, it is 160 millimeters of mercury at the sea level, whereas at high altitude this partial pressure of oxygen will decreases and it leads to hypoxia, a condition which is called hypoxia. So what are the compensatory changes when we ascend to high altitude? So we must acclimatize. So that will be the compensatory changes. So for acclimatization, we will increase the pulmonary ventilation. That will be the earliest response. So during hypoxia, we are having chemoreceptors. That chemoreceptors, it will be stimulated and the chemo reflex happens, which will lead to hyperventilation. But there is a problem with this hyperventilation. You know that hyperventilation will lead to CO2 washout. So there will be decrease in CO2. That means respiratory alkalosis. So as the blood is turned into slightly alkaline, the calcium will bind to the proteins at alkaline medium. So the amount of free calcium in blood will decrease and it leads to hypocalcemic tetany. So for this compensatory mechanism to correct the respiratory alkalosis, our kidneys as a compensation will increase the bicarbonate excretion. Okay. So the next one the body adopt is it will increase the erythropoietin and it will lead to increase in the RBCs. The vascular endothelial growth factor, it is angiogenic, it also plays a role. Our diffusion of gases and the diffusion capacity also increases. The fifth one is the cellular acclimatization. That means in our mitochondria we are having certain enzymes, right? These enzymes will become highly active and the oxygen utilization will increase. So these are the compensatory changes that our body does. Now coming on to the various sickness we are having when we ascend to high altitude. Within 6 to 12 hours of ascent we will experience acute mountain sickness. So the symptoms shown are non-specific type of symptoms which may be vomiting, nausea or confusions. So what are the treatments? The immediate treatment is descent to lower altitude. That will solve all his problems. But when it goes to extreme forms, we will develop edema in brain and in lungs. If the edema is developed in brain, we call it as high altitude cerebral edema. If it is developed in lungs, we call it as high altitude pulmonary edema. So what are its treatment? The first treatment is descend the man to lower altitude. Then we can give oxygen supplementation. We can also give certain calcium channel blockers which are called nifedipine and dexamethasone. The chronic mountain sickness. If a person goes to a mountain and live for many years, he will experience a form of disease which is called as Monk's disease or chronic mountain sickness. So when we are checking his blood, we can see that there will be excess erythrocytosis in his blood. And when we are measuring his blood pressure, we can see that there is pulmonary hypertension, and which is called as cor pulmonale. So what are the treatments? So the treatments are, we can give certain type of drugs such as venesection and acetazolamide. So that's all about the environmental physiology at high altitude.